Man, what's up, world? What's up, world? What's up? What's up? What's up? Good evening. Hope everybody having a good day. Has had a good day. And man, as I was I didn't anticipate making a video today, but man, I just got dropped on some major news dropped on me today. So I definitely want to take some time to kind of put it out there and just kind of get some feedback and perspective on what you guys thought about it, and also just put you in the loop if you haven't had a chance to know or find out. So today it looks like that Joe Biden and his administration are looking to fund a $30 million proposal to help fund crack pipes, all right, as a form of racial equity. Now, just a little while ago, we were talking about, how they were looking to fund $450,000 per person, per illegal immigrant that was separated at the border. All right. And you telling me that they're going to turn around and disrespect black people by trying to say that racial equity in the form of crack pipes is some type of benefit or help to the black community. So real quick, I'm going to play a quick video from Fox News and get into the article, and it kind of talks a little bit more about it, and we'll get into a little dialogue. So if you haven't heard about it, let's kind of talk about it and let's discuss it, and we'll come back in a minute. Just give some people some time to chime in. Bit. So let me share my screen. All right. Let me add this to stream. Here we go. All right, so let's play this real quick from Kevin McCarthy.
Have another responsibility to hold this administration accountable. Look today what we just found out. This administration is now going to spend $30 million from hardworking taxpayers on buying crack pipes for drug addicts. They think this is somehow helping them when it comes to racial equality. That's what they're literally saying. But we can get to the...
Oh, man, let me just play that one more. Back it up a little bit and play that one more time. Let me see, what was that right there?
This administration is now going to spend $30 million from hardworking taxpayers on buying crack pipes for drug addicts. They think this is somehow helping them when it comes to racial equality. That's what they're literally saying.
Man, I'm gonna stop sharing that, man, because to me that was just a very disrespectful thing to even put out there. And then, guys, guess what? Guess what month it is? It's February, also known as what? Black History Month. Ding, 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 ding. And for you to sit for Biden and his administration to even think of something so foolish, and put that out, even this month, regardless, is to me it's just asinine. It's stupidity at its highest level, and it's disrespectful. So for all those who were, hey man, y'all need to go out and vote for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, whatever. It's better than having Trump. Well, at this point, I don't think so. Not for the black community, because since Joe Biden has been in there, they passed the Asian crime bill. They had the proposal about the 450,000 for the illegal immigrants, and even when Trump was in, I mean, Trump he funded the HBCUs. He had a $500 billion plan to help and support black businesses, right? I believe he even stopped Planned Parenthood, which were the target and the center of so many abortions in the black community. So I can't. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm more of an independent type of guy. But when you line up apples and apples, Joe Biden's track record is not in favor of the black community. And it's about time that we stood up and be honest with ourselves and get out the radio and get off the TV and get off the rap video. And the ignorance, man, is really at an all-time high. And we gotta get out of the point to where we just like being played like pawns and treated like little kids, walking around sagging and just feeling like entertainment is all the world is about. Like we some big old overgrown teenagers. And this is ridiculous, guys. And this is why these people feel like they can do this type of stuff, because they feel like the majority of us are just overgrown kids. You know, you better not, what's so cool? You better not say nothing about them Democrats, right? Exactly. And that's the mindset that a lot of us have. Like, we black, that we have to be a Democrat. We have to vote for a certain party. And that's not the case, man. So let me get into the actual bill and what the bill kind of talks about. That way you kind of can have an idea of what the crack proposal is all about. All right, so let me bring this up, and I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can read along or read it on your own if you like to. All right, so we got the Biden administration to fund programs that hand out crack pipes to prevent infection and promote racial equity. Now, before I get into it, when we had the opioid crisis, first of all, they talking about $30 million. I believe the opioid crisis, when they had the opioid crisis, they put out $26 billion to help out the kids and people. They sued all these pharmaceutical companies, and they paid out $26 billion to offset the opioid crisis. All right. So that's a slap in the face, first of all, because it's been proven. I thought that it has been proven. If you haven't seen the movie Kill the Messenger, it's a very good movie. With the Rick Ross in there, Mike, I think his name Michael Williams played Rick Ross in the movie. But anyways, I thought it was proven that the CIA had funded the crack, to help them pay for the Contra wars in South America. So they dropped the crack in the hood, also not just to fund the wars, but to also, incarcerate a lot of black people and divide the families, because you had things like black empowerment, you had the Panthers, you had all these black empowerment type of movements. So they knew that this crack epidemic would help to nullify a lot of that. So that's why they decided to put this crack into the neighborhoods. Then you had the things like the 94 crime bill, which locked these people away, in the 3 strikes bill, which Bill Clinton and Joe Biden were behind. And this helped to break up a lot of these families, because they had all of this crack in the neighborhood, and you would get all these detrimental sentences just for selling the crack or getting caught 3 times, for those type of drug crimes, and you could be sentenced to life just for selling drugs, and drugs they put in the community. While the white kids who were snorting the cocaine were getting probation and getting severely less time than those who were, selling the crack or smoking the crack. So, it's really their own fault, and they should be paying some type of settlement for the families that they destroyed. They should be paying some type of settlement for the rehabilitation of these lives that they helped to destroy. How about all these children and young men and people you just sent to penitentiaries? How about some type of relief or some type of new bill to help minimize some of that time that you put these people through and that you sentence these people to, versus this slap in the face? And like I said, it's Black History Month, and to me, this is just very, very disrespectful. So let's kind of get into the bill a little bit, what it talks about. So, all right, so Biden administration. Right. Right, exactly, right. So Biden administration to fund programs that hand out crack pipes to prevent infection and promote racial equity. And I don't see how this racial equity. Anyways, I guess he think all black people crackheads and all black people run around smoking crack. Have you ever seen a crackhead go vote? I don't think so. So how is giving $30 million in crack pipes to crackhead, which they already sell the brown bag special at every hood corner store? So they got access to clean crack pipes. Anyways, I don't know if I'm supposed to give that game away, but hey, it's out there now. The $30 million grant program would distribute funds to nonprofits and local governments to make drug use safer and advance racial equity. How, bro? Included in the grant is money to purchase safe smoking kits, supplies. A spokesperson for the HHS, Human Health Services, said included in these kits could be pipes for users to smoke substances like crack cocaine and crystal meth. HHS said that these kits would serve to limit the risk of infection, Typically, users smoke out of glass pipes, which can lead to cuts and sores that become infected. Handing out pipes is also intended to prompt users to smoke rather than inject themselves with some substances like meth, as injection is far riskier. It is against the law to sell or distribute drug paraphernalia. So, how are they giving out crack pipes? Because I know plenty of people got pulled over with weed pipes and got tickets and cases and arrested and all these type of things, but the government all of a sudden can magically give away crack pipes, okay, unless authorized by state and local or federal law. So that's amazing. That lets you know right there that it's game right off the rip. If the man tell you, "Oh, I'm the government, so I can do it, but you better not do it." That's almost like when kids look at their parents and tell them, "Hey, man, especially like, you like, man, it's a double standard. Why can you do it, but I can't do it? Well, I'm your parent because I said so." Man, and then as the kid get older, they're gonna want some type of justification. That's almost like, another person telling you, "I can go over here, but you can't go over here because you're a different color or you're a different gender than I am." That's not fair. That's a double standard, man. So let's kind of get more into it real quick. All right, Biden's Health and Human Services Department is finalizing funding. Okay, so this thing is already moving. All right, to dole out crack pipes to drug addicts as a part of its harm reduction plan. The $30 million grant program. 30 million, bro. And we talk about reparations all the time. We got all these homeless people out here in the world. The housing market is crazy. What a $30 million grant program to help some of these displaced people find houses and some place to stay. So the $30 million grant program, which accepted applications until Monday, will begin doling out money in May. Man, which intends to provide funding to nonprofits and local governments to make drug use safer to advance racial equity. So all y'all that thought about creating a 501c, a nonprofit organization, you need to get on your game, create you a 501c or a nonprofit to help out crackheads, and you can get you some money from the government. Included in the grant money is included in the grant is money to purchase safe smoking kits and supplies. A spokesperson for HHS told the Washington Free Beacon that it included in these kits could be pipes for users to smoke substances like crack and crystal meth. All right. So HHS said the kits will serve to limit the risk of infection, typically to users who smoke out of glass pipes that become infected with diseases like hepatitis C. Handing out pipes is also intended to prompt users to smoke rather than inject themselves with substances like meth, as injection is far riskier. Applicants for the program get priority if they serve in underserved communities, Black communities, right? Such as African Americans or Native Americans, or guess who? LGBTQ people. Had to squeeze that in there, right? The crack cocaine epidemic started in the 80s, disproportionately ravaged the Black community. And we know that, all right? We all know that, crack was dropped in our community. We believe, based off the evidence and the lawsuits that were found by the CIA. And so, therefore, they ravaged our communities. They broke the communities apart, but have done nothing to try to bring it back together. Yeah, you're going to help to fund crack pipes, all right? Which does what in your mind? If you selling crack, you're like, okay, the government must obviously be okay with me selling crack, because they out here giving crack pipes away. So that's a double-edged sword. Either you saying like, okay, I can continue to destroy my community because basically they have no problem with it, or hey, they want me to continue selling crack because they need more of us incarcerated. It's either one of the two, or it could be both. And I really feel like that they don't mind you selling crack to a degree, because they know when you get caught, you're going to be a 14th Amendment. You're going to return to your slave state and work for them for free, basically a slave. And you also, by selling crack, you are also destroying your community, and they know this. That's why, my stepdad, unfortunately, fell victim to crack, and my family was distraught when it happened, because we ended up losing our home. We had to move into a 1-bedroom apartment. We struggled for a long time, was on the verge of becoming homeless. you know, and luckily, and I was blessed that my mother, single parent, was strong enough to stand up and rebuild herself and, you know, and overcome those obstacles and push herself and keep us grounded and keep us out the streets to allow us to have a fair chance. But crack, some people weren't that fortunate. Crack destroyed a lot of homes, and the music and the industry and the entertainment has tried to promote drug selling and drug usage as a normality. We've gotten to a point, really, guys, to where a lot of things that we do in this world are backwards. Okay, when I was growing up, you know, a lot of things that you did in private, you didn't put them out in public, you know, because it was kind of frowned on. But now we've gotten to a point to where, you know, a lot of behaviors. I remember, like, for instance, give you an example. Men used to say, "Hey, man, I want a freak behind closed doors," and that's all that meant. That meant like, yeah, you know, you want you a chick, you want you a lady, you know, whatever the case may be, and you want her to be a certain type of way, you know, kind of kinky, dress a certain type of way, act a certain type of way in the bedroom, but you want that done behind closed doors. But we got to a point to where you want a freak out and open. You don't care about the closed doors. You want her to be a freak for everybody. And so this is really what's happening in our community, to where we fell under this paradox or under this spell, and we haven't seemed to shake it. And these rappers and all these entertainers, they put these spells out here. They put this energy out here in the world, and they try to normalize it. All of this violence, all of the drug selling, the drug distribution. They make it seem like it's the coolest thing to do. And my question is when we gonna wake up and stop falling for it? Are we gonna wake up and stop falling for it? Or are we gonna just continue to be passive and continue to accept all of the foolishness that we know is not right and just go on about our day? Like, this is becoming ridiculous. And you know, if you don't see this as a problem, then hey, man, I don't know where you at in the fight. And I hope that your kids and the people that you raise and or the people that you know and love don't fall victim to this type of stuff, man, because it destroys lives. Including you said we already talked about that. All right, so here you boy Joe, Sleepy Joe. All right, Sleepy Joe. All right, so other harm reduction supplies that could be purchased with the grant money include testing equipment for sexually transmitted diseases, overdose reversal medication, medication lock boxes, syringes, and testing kits. So, see, you just said needles. I thought they just said that the smoking the crack pipes, they were providing the crack pipes because injections were a lot more riskier. Well, right here, they just says they provide, you know, syringes. So which one is it? The grant program lasts 3 years and includes 25 awards up to $400,000. It is against the law to sell or distribute drug paraphernalia unless you're authorized by the state, local, or federal law. There was an estimated 306,000 drug overdose deaths in a 12-month period ending in April 2021. All right. So it continues to go on. You get, you can go ahead and read the article if you want to on your own. All right. So this is the article I got from, I want to say Washington Post, I believe. Let's scroll back up, make sure. Yeah, no, dailymail.com. So the articles on there, it's all over the internet. I was just listening to Kwame Brown a few seconds ago. They were going in on it. But, you know, I had to talk about this, guys, because I really feel like this is a very, very disrespectful bill and a very disrespectful statement to do, not just during Black History Month, but just knowing the effect that crack has had on the Black community, and to sit here to make it seem like that you are aiding and abetting crack usage in the Black community. Like for instance, like I said, like all Black people run around smoking crack. And when was the last time you saw a crackhead at the poll, or I mean at the voting booth? When was the last time you saw a crackhead say, "Hey, I'm going to vote today. I'm gonna sit this crack pipe down. I'm on my way to the poll"? It don't happen, man. So I understand you probably putting the money towards rehab or rehabilitation, but don't put the money towards, towards the encouraging the usage or the encouraging of the distribution. And all those rappers, I think they were talking about it earlier, T.I. and Young Jeezy and all these people who were talking about vote for Joe Biden, Man, where are all these people at now? And all these people who were trying to get you to go vote for Kamala Harris because she's the blackity black. And we all know, where is she at? She hasn't done anything. And like we talked about before they even got elected, she is a tether. She is of Jamaican descent and Indian descent, or Asian, Indian, but Indians consider Asian. So she's not even foundational, what we consider foundational Black American, meaning that her parents did not descend from slaves here in America. She is not an American descendant of a slave. So her mindset is different. And we try to tell a lot of Black people that a lot of immigrants, not all, but a lot of immigrants or Black immigrants that come to America, they see America as a beacon of hope, and they have a different view from those who were captured and brought here, or who originated as an Aboriginal American and who was integrated into slavery and mixed in with the Africans who were brought to America. You know, like I tell Black people all the time, that's why you have tribes like the Blackfoot. You have tribes like the Seminoles, because many of the Black people that are here are descendants of the Aboriginal people. Just like if you look at Australia and you see the Aborigines, a lot of the Aboriginal people were black-skinned people. All right, Christopher Columbus talked about it. If you read some of his paperwork, he talked about the black-skinned people with the gold-tipped spears when he landed here. You know, and so history is going to try to tell you that, you know, many of your people were all brought from Africa. 90% of the Africans who were captured or who were bought were actually sent to South America. All right, so let's make sure you understand your history and do your research, and not just, you know, speak off emotion. All right, so now I guess, you know, like we kind of just, like I just kind of just talked about, man, and I won't go be on here too long. Is just, you know, how is this going to really benefit us, and how is this considered racial, you know, how is this considered some type of racial equity program? It's really a slap in the face, and it's very disrespectful. All right, you know, like I said earlier, Trump, and I ain't gonna just say I'm a Trump advocate, but Trump, you know, did offer $500 billion to help, you know, restore and fund Black businesses. Trump also, we talked about, he ended the Planned Parenthood, suspended Planned Parenthood, which we felt was an issue because it was causing a lot of abortions in the underserved Black community, right? But Trump also funded the HBCUs, you know, so they won't have to. Remember, he kept talking about, man, these HBCUs have to come up here and ask for funding almost every few years. And he was like, well, what can I do so y'all don't have to keep coming up here? And Trump said, man, I funded them for like 15, 20 years. They don't have to come up here and ask for money because I passed legislation for them. You don't hear Joe Biden and nobody in that office, in that administration, talking about those type of things or doing anything tangible. When we say tangible, that means something that you can say, man, the government, you know, the administration or the people I voted for helped put this in my hand and I can touch it. I can reach out and spend it, or whatever the case may be. No, it's always some type of non-tangible fairy tale, you know, something that, you know, it's broken, it's just a promise, and there's nothing that you really can put your hand on. Now, and my question to you is, I remember Ice Cube had, before the elections had ended, right? He said that he had this plan, this plan he wanted to initiate, you know, this contract with Black America, right? And Joe Biden and them said that once they got elected, they would meet with him about this contract. Where has that meeting all of a sudden disappeared to? You ain't heard nothing about Ice Cube pulling up at the White House, talking to them about none of these initiatives. And guys, this is what I mean about this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't continue to accept this. All right. So basically, I'm gonna wrap it up. Those are the kind of things I kind of wanted to touch on. But this $30 million for this crack, to me, is very disrespectful, a slap in the face. You know, where do we go from here? Do we continue to just be passive aggressive and allow people just to constantly disrespect us and act like there's nothing really going on? Or do we put the foot down and try to unify and rebuild our communities? Or is entertainment more important to us? It's just being entertained by foolishness and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook or whatever you're doing. Is that really more important than trying to change the world and make the world a better place for the next generation? And we've got away from discipline as far as spanking our children. We've got away from going to church. We've got away from, even if you're not really religious, at least going to church teaches some type of value, some type of respect. We don't even do that anymore, guys. It's just like we just kind of did everything that we said we wouldn't do and fell for all the tricks we said we wouldn't fall for. We fell for every last one of them. And now it's like we're in a daze. Will we wake up? I don't know. I pray for everyone, and I love you guys, and I hope you guys, show me some love, and just pray for me as well, man. Support the channel if you can, like and subscribe. Feel free to go check out my merch. My link is in the description, in the description part. So go check that out. We will never forget. The Joe Rogan slip up, calling everybody the N-word. So I guess it's just the week of the Joe Bumbles. All the Joes is tripping this week. So, man, just man, I don't know what to say about this, man. It's just so disrespectful. It's like they almost did it on purpose just to kind of, get us aggravated and frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's Obama at, man? We thought that he was gonna do something for us. He let us down. He could at least speak up at this moment and say, man, hey, bro, that's not what you want to do right now. But anyways, man, I love you guys. You guys have a good night. We'll try to definitely follow back up on this later on in the week. Man, you guys stay blessed. Tino out. Peace.